Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب يسر ولا تؤسر وتمم بالخير. Today we are going to start lesson number 22, I guess. And all the job, inshallah, today will be done by you. And at the same time, when you see at this schedule and this table, sometimes as we are human beings, you might be thinking like, what's the point in doing all this? And like it's getting tougher and it's getting bigger. So inshallah, today when we analyze two verses of the Quran, you will see like what we are doing is inshallah very beneficial, and it is also going to help us a lot. So just once we go through the table, I hope you have memorized now the 5 forms of the verb. And if not, again, inshallah, I would recommend to memorize them because these are the base of learning Arabic. Okay, so the first one is the basic one, which is fa'ala. And any verb that comes on that pattern, for example, nasara, daraba, fataha, sami'a, ghasala, we have memorized or we have learned a lot of them now, mashallah. So all of them, the mudari will be on the pattern of yaf'alu. And masdar always changes, as we know that for the first form of the verb, the masdar is not fixed. For number 2 up to 10, the masdar is fixed. But for the first one, it is not fixed, so it always changes. For example, fa'ala, yaf'alu, fi'lan. Do you remember the masdar of dakhala, yadkhulu? Yes, does anyone remember the masdar of dakhala, yadkhulu?
دخولا
Dukhulan. And similarly, kharaja, yakhruju?
خروجا.
Khurujan. Okay, excellent. So we have, as we have like learned a couple of patterns as well. So the masdar of the first form of the verb always changes, whereas the rest of the forms of the verb, it is always fixed. It will never change. Fi'l al-amr is a little bit different to make. So it will be if'al. And if it is from bab nasara yansuru, then it will be with dhamma. And fi'l al-nahi is la taf'al. Ism al-fa'il is on the pattern of fa'ilun, and ism al-maf'ul is on the pattern of maf'ulun. So what is the difference between ism al-fa'il and ism al-maf'ul? What is the difference between these two?
فاعل, the second last letter has kasra, and maf'ul, the second last letter has fatha.
But that is for the verb from number 2. I'm talking about the verb from number 1. Verb from number 1, it will always be on the pattern of fa'ilun wa maf'ulun. And it will not change, as we can see here. For example, from nasara, it will be nasirun wa mansurun. Similarly, if we have daraba, it will be daribun wa madrubun. We are talking about the first form of the verb. No, but I'm asking about the meaning. What is the difference in meaning? When we say fa'il and maf'ul, the meaning is the same or different?
This difference, fa'il is the doer,
Okay,
maf'ul is the receiver.
the receiver, excellent, perfect. Similarly, when we get into the second form of the verb, we can see over there. So when we get into the second form of the verb, we can see there that there is an addition of, 1 minute, please.
Tahdeed.
Yes, there is an addition of tashdid, as we can see here. So it was sabaha, and when with the addition of tashdid, it has become sabbaha. And as we have seen that since there is an addition of extra letter or extra vowels, there will be addition to the meaning as well. So sabbaha, yusabbihu tasbihan, to glorify. Fi'l al-amr will be sabbih, and fi'l al-nahi la tusabbih. Ism al-fa'il will be musabbihun. This is the one that sister you are talking about. that from the form number 2 to 10, the doer will be always like this. Musabbihun, yani the second last root letter has kasra. Whereas Ismul Maf'ul will be always on the pattern of Musabbahun, where the second root letter or the second last root letter has Fatha. However, when we reach the 9th or the 10th form of the verb, there will be a small change because it's a language. So in language, there are always some exceptions. But as of now, you don't need to worry. And we follow the same pattern, which is Musabbihun, Ismul Fa'il, and Musabbahun is Ismul Maf'ul. Similarly, here is the addition of tashdid. Then number 3, there is addition of alif. Jahada yujahidu mujahadatan. Jahid la tujahid. And Ismul Fa'il mujahidun. And Ismul Maf'ul will be mujahadun. As we can see, there is a fatha. Then we have aslama, yuslimu islaman, to surrender. Aslim, okay, focus on this fourth form of the verb. 2 and 4, they are very common. Very, very common. They are used a lot. So aslim, fi'l al-amr, la tuslim, fi'l al-nahi, muslimun ismul fa'il, and muslamun is ismul maf'ul. And then we have tadabbara, which is number 5. So here, addition of tashdid, then addition of alif, and then there is an addition of hamza. Now number 5, what happened? It is similar to number 2. There is only addition of extra ta. You can see there. So it's basically the addition of ta in the beginning, and the rest of the form is the same as form number 2. So 2 and 5, please note down, 2 and 5 are reflexive. So for example, if someone is asking to do someone in verb form number 2, in verb form number 5, it will be the one who is doing by himself. So 2 and 5, please note down that these are reflexive. They are like reflexive. So 2 and 5. Tadabbara. Dabbara, yudabbiru tadbiran means to make a plan. But when we say tadabbara, which is the 5th one, that means to reflect or to ponder by yourself. So number 2 basically makes someone to do something, and number 5 is basically the one who is doing by himself is something that he is trying to gain or trying to get. So that is the 5th form of the verb. Tadabbara yatadabbaru tadabburan. And also we can see here that in the masdar we have dhamma over there. And then tadabbur, la tatadabbur. And then we have ismul fa'il mutadabbir, and ismul maf'ul will be mutadabbir. Okay, so inshallah, I hope that you are trying to learn them. Okay, Muslimun, Mukhrijun, Mudkhilun, and Mu'minun. These are the doers or the receivers, Ismul Fa'il or Ismul Maf'ul?
Ismul Fa'il.
Ismul Fa'il. Of which form of the verb?
Fourth.
The fourth one, right?
Alif. Aslama.
Aslama, Yuslimu, Islam.
Akhraja.
Excellent. So first we did yesterday the doer, and today we will do the receiver, and we know the receiver will be only, we will change kasra into fatha. But before we do that, let's look at the verse from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله فالق الحب والنوى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي. Okay, now please go through and try to reflect and figure out how much is there that you can understand from whatever we have learned so far. Do you know inna?
First is inna, noun of inna.
Okay, so we know the use of inna. We have learned about it. Okay, so lafdul jalala, inna Allah. So it will be ismu inna, right? Because we know inna has an ism and it has also khabar as well. So it will be ismu inna. Okay. What about the next one?
Fa'il. And
It is the doer, right? Faliq is the doer. It's on the pattern of fa'il, right? So it is fa'ilun and faliqun. Okay. So faliqu, that means at least we can figure out that here it is the doer, right? So faliq is basically the one who breaks. Okay. anything that comes to your mind? Okay, what do you think will be the root letter of Faliq? Try to figure out the root letter.
Hamza, Lam, Qaf.
No, Alif, as you can see here, Alif is always extra. Alif
Okay.
will never ever be the
Sorry,
part of the
Fa,
root.
Fa,
Yeah.
Lam, Qaf.
Falaq.
Falaq.
Okay, do you remember anything from Falaq?
Surah Falaq.
Surah Al-Falaq. Okay, what's the meaning of Falaq? Daybreak or the dawn?
Daybreak.
Yeah, or the dawn, as we say. So Faliq is the one who breaks something, okay, or who splits something, because it is Ismul Fa'il. Okay, so we have figured out that this is Ismul Fa'il. Okay, and what construction do you see here? Faliqul Habbi. What construction is this? Mudaf mudaf ilayh. Excellent. Perfect. Why we say it's mudaf mudaf ilayh? For two reasons. The first one doesn't have al and doesn't have tanween, and the second one has kasra. So it figure, and also we can see that the second one is a proper noun and the first one is a common noun. And we know the combination of a proper noun and common noun makes it mudaf mudaf ilayh. Excellent. Faliq al-habbi wa and so the one that follows it will be ma'tuf. So it is also, we will say that it has the same i'rab as the i'rab of al-hab. So this is mansub and this is also mansub. Excellent. So which one is ismu inna and which one is khabaru inna?
Ismu inna is Allah and khabaru inna is Faliq.
Faliq al-hab. Excellent. Faliq al-habbi wa nawa. So perfect. So we have figured out, and we now grammatically we can analyze that. This is a nominal sentence, and a nominal sentence is basically stronger than the verbal sentence. We will figure out how, and it because one of the reasons is why, because it is emphatic. We have the use of inna, whereas in verb we don't have this facility in a verbal sentence. Okay, so the first part is done. Okay, the second one.
يخرج فعل مضارع
فعل مضارع of which form?
أخرج.
أخرج يخرج إخراجا. Yeah, it starts number 4. As I told you, number 4 is very common. Okay, يخرج الحي. يخرج is both فعل and فاعل. Why it is فعل and فاعل? Because the noun that follows it has fatha. So that means, yeah, so the file is inside it. That refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So يخرج الحي. So يخرج is فعل plus file. الحي is مفعول به. Okay. يخرج الحي من الميت. What about من الميت?
حرف جر
جار مجرور.
جار
مجرور. Okay, excellent. So يخرج الحي من الميت, it's complete sentence. يخرج is فعل plus file. الحي is مفعول به, and من الميت is جار مجرور. So it's a complete sentence. One part of the sentence is finished. Wa is wa ma'tufa, and then مخرج. Okay, مخرج. What pattern is this?
فاعل.
Yani the doer, right?
Yes.
Okay, مخرج, the one who brings out, right? Okay, so مخرج الميت. What construction is this? مخرج الميت. مضاف إليه. Excellent. Yes, مخرج الميت. So مخرج. So what kind of sentence is this? Now this is verbal sentence or nominal sentence?
The nominal sentence.
Nominal sentence because it starts with a noun. Excellent.
Okay.
Yes. So مخرج الميت is مبتدا and من الحي is خبر. Okay. Excellent. Now you see here. Look at the meaning. In Allah, surely Allah is the one who splits the grain and the date seed. So al-hab is the grain and one nawa is the date seed for sprouting, like for nourishing them, for bringing them forth. Yes. Yukhriju, he brings forth. Al-hayya, the living. Min al-mayyiti, from the dead. Okay, now again there is a beautiful linguistic implication here. I heard someone saying, like, when they say al-hayy, life is not permanent, right? Life is not permanent. So that's why there is a verb that has been used with it, because verb is also not permanent. Verb also changes from past to present to fi'l al-amr. So because verb is not permanent, that's why it is used with al-hayy, which is life, is also not permanent. Min al-mayyiti, from the dead. Then if you see here, mukhrij al-mayyiti, here, mukhrij is noun, and noun is permanent, and al-mayyit, death. Death is also permanent, right? So that's why with the death, there is a use of mukhriju, the one who brings out, because yukhriju and mukhriju means both those who bring out, right? But with the life, there is a use of verb, because life changes and verb changes. And with the noun, there is a use of noun, because noun is fixed, death is fixed, and also noun is fixed as well. So mukhrij al-mayyit min al-hayy, and also he is the one who brings forth the dead from the living. And then the rest we haven't covered, so I will just, this is from Al-An'am, the cattle, 695. Okay, so is there anything that we haven't learned so far?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
There is one ayah also in which with mayyit is also yukhrij.
Excellent, that's right, yeah. So as I said, this is one of the many interpretations of the linguistic rules, where they said like why it has been used like this, يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي. This is one of the implications of many implications that we are learning now.
In Surat Yunus, sir, for hayy and mayyit, both with yukhrij.
That's right, I agree. And as I said, that this is one of the linguistic implications that we are talking about now. And this is how it has been interpreted by the ulama. So this is how I'm presenting it to you. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
This is one of the implications. You know, Quran is a miracle. It's a living miracle, and there are many things that will be figured out and that will be explored. So maybe this is one of the aspects that I was able to explore, or the sheikh that I listened to was able to explore. And maybe inshallah, when you learn and you get deeper into this, maybe you will explore many things and then inshallah teach it to others as well. Inshallah. Yes, Irfan. So I hope this verse is clear now. So and you guys, as you can see here in this verse, there is a use of ismul fa'il, faliq
Khaliq.
wa mukhrij. Okay,
Sir, what is the meaning of khaliq?
the one who breaks, the one who splits. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you're here, we have Surah Al-Falaq. Falaqa is from the same pattern, is the same, like this is the same root letter that is called the dawn or the daybreak. So it's like something when it breaks into pieces. So faliqul habbi wan nawa, the one who breaks, splits the grain and the date seed for growing up, for growing. Okay, now Muslim, what will be the ismul maf'ul of Muslim?
Muslim.
Muslim, okay, very
Muslimun.
simple. We will just change this into fatha and it will be Muslimun. Okay, mukhrij is the one who brings out, and what will be the ismul maf'ul?
Mukhrajun.
Mukhraj, yeah, mukhrajun, that's right, okay. So only the haraka changes. Mudkhilun,
Mudkhalun.
so the one who enters, and mudkhalun is the place where someone enters. Okay, now something interesting, inshallah, I will tell you. And mu'minun, the believer, and mu'min is the believed, something that has been believed in. Okay, so these are ismul maf'ul, muslimun wa mukhrajun wa mudkhalun wa mu'minun. Okay, now have you noticed something here? Ismul fa'il, it is also used as mudaf. Have you noticed? Faliq al-habbi wa mukhraj al-mayyit. So please note it down that ismul fa'il also functions as mudaf. Very important information. It also functions as mudaf. Yani it is used as mudaf as well. For both. Okay, faliq, which verb form is this? Is it the basic or the derived?
Basic.
Basic. the first form of the verb. Okay, so whether it is the doer is whether it is from the basic form of the verb or it is from the derived form of the verb, it will be used or it will function as mudaf. It also functions as mudaf for both, for the basic form of the verb and for the mazid fi form of the verb as well. This is one thing that you have noticed down. Okay, now let's move on to the Surah Al-Isra, the night journey, verse number 80. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقل ربي, وقل ربي, right? Lam will not be pronounced. أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. Okay, so now, okay, what we know it's here it's like it functions as the beginner of the sentence, so it's called wa al istinafiya. Okay, qul is fi'l al-amr, and we haven't learned from the weak forms of the verb. So this is basically from yaqulu, qala yaqulu. So inshallah we will learn it. So let's leave it. Rabbi, what form is this?
مضاف مضاف إليه.
Mudaf, mudaf ilayh. And why it is translated as my Lord?
Yes, yeah is not there. I mean,
Ya
yeah is
al-mutakallim, ya al-mutakallim, because this is used a lot. So because of the usage or the usage, like frequent usage, the ya gets dropped. So this is basically ya Rabbi. So ya also gets dropped and ya al-mutakallim also get dropped. So what is left is Rabbi. And as you can see here, it is my Lord. So the translation is my Lord. Okay. Adkhilni.
This,
Adkhil.
command,
Every day you talk
adkhil.
about adkhil. Yes.
Command verb plus
It's okay. So here we will say fail dua because we are making dua to Allah
yes,
subhanahu wa ta'ala.
yeah.
Okay, fail dua. Okay. It is basically fail al-amr, but here in the Quran, when we talk about the Quran, we say this is fail dua. Okay. Adkhil. You enter.
Ni is
Ni,
maf'ul.
me, maful bihi. Yes. Okay. You cause me to enter. Okay. Adkhilni. Mudkhala.
Maf'ul. Maf'ul.
Now this is a little bit interesting. Now, this is mudkhalun. It is on the pattern of what? It's on the pattern of
Maf'ul.
Muslimun. Maf'ul bihi, right? Sorry, it's like Ismul Maf'ul, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It is on the pattern of Ismul Maf'ul, right? So the second thing that I want you to notice that Ismul Maf'ul in the Mazid fi forms is also used as adverb of place. It is also used, or it also functions as adverb of place. Okay, look here, I have written it down here so that you don't, if it's confusing, inshallah, it will be clearer here. Doer in both basic and derived forms is always used as mudaf, or it functions as mudaf, the doer. And the receiver of the derived verbs only, mazid fi forms, is also used as adverb of place. It is also used as what? Adverb of place. Okay. So mudkhalun is the one that has been entered, ismul maf'ul, or mudkhal is the place of entrance. The place of entrance. We know that when we say adverb of place, for example, when we say madkhal, do you remember the word madkhal?
Yes, Ustad.
Okay, what is the difference between madkhal and mudkhal?
Madkhal was
Place.
Madkhal is also adverb of place. Adverb of place on the pattern of maf'alun, but that one we make from the triliteral verb forms, the verb forms that have 3 root letters. And mudkhal is also adverb of place, but it is made from the derived forms of the verb. Did you get it?
yes, sir.
So if I change it to madkhal, let's say if we remove dhamma and we change it to fatha, it is the place of entrance, but this is place of entrance for the triliteral forms of the verb or the base form of the verb that is made from 3 root letters. Dakhala
It will be
yadkhulu.
from dakhala then. It
Dakhala
will not be
yadkhulu,
from
that's right,
adkhul.
madkhal.
Yes.
And this is from adkhala yudkhilu.
So we are asking Allah Ta'ala, it should be adkhal, not dakhala, because we are asking
Yes,
him
we
to
are asking
enter
Allah
us.
subhanahu wa ta'ala to enter us. So because we are using the extended form of the verb, so that's why the adverb of place that has been used is also taken from the same verb form, which is the fourth one. So adkhilni, cause me to enter or enter me. Okay, so sidqin. Sadaqa yasduqu sidqan. This is masdar. So it's like the place, sound place. Madkhala sidqin. So what is this construction, by the way? Mudkhala sidqin.
It is again mudaf ilayh.
It is again. Yeah. Why do we need to worry if it is again? Yeah, it is mudaf ilayh. That's right. It is mudaf ilayh. At the same time, it is maf'ul bihi. Okay, adkhil is basically a verb form that demands two maf'ul bihi. Okay, so one is adkhilni, enter me, where? Mudkhal sidqin. Okay, so cause me to enter a sound entrance. Okay, as you can see here, entrance, here it has been translated for mudkhal, and sidqin, sound. Okay, wa akhrijni. طيب أخرج.
Again, like adkhil,
Again.
akhrij.
Yes, the fourth form of the verb.
فعل
أخرج
الدعاء.
يخرج إخراجا ويخرجكم إخراجا. Yes, so وأخرجني. Okay, and exit me or cause me to exit. طيب why? Come on, يعني try.
مخرج.
مخرجة.
مخرج سد.
مخرج
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 صدقين.
is
So مخرج
مفعول.
is the place of exit. The place of exit is مضاف, and صدقين is مضاف إليه.
This is not
Right?
makhraj.
It's
Why
مخرج. مخرج.
Makhraj is wrong, sir.
Of course. مخرج is خرج يخرج, and that will be خرج يخرج, and then the adverb of place will be مخرج. And this is
Makhraj.
yeah, this is مخرج. This is, we make it from the derived form of the verb. Come on, let's go back and you will see now. Here, today we did it.
Kharraja.
أخرج يخرج إخراجا. The one who brings out is مخرج, and the one who is brought out is مخرج. مخرج.
What
Did you
is
get
the
it?
difference?
What?
Difference between kharaja and akhraja.
Kharaja, he
In
came out.
translation,
Kharaja, he came out.
he came out.
Akhraja, he brought him out. Okay, it's causative.
Again, sir, please.
The second form of the verb is causative. For the first form of the verb is you do something, and second form or the fourth form of the verb is when someone makes you do something. For example, you do something by yourself. Okay, أنت تخرج من البيت. You go out of the house. Okay, but when your wife asks you or I don't want to say kicks you out of the house, so it will be تخرجك من بيتك. She causes you to go out of your house. Okay, so kharaja means to go out by yourself, and akhraja is someone who causes you to go out.
Now we'll never forget.
For example, sir.
For example, dakhala means to enter. Adkhala means to enter someone into something. As you always say, adkhil. There are like
Adkhil.
yes. So you enter. Okay, so you enter when you enter by yourself into something. That's why I didn't tell you the meaning. I didn't tell you the function of this. I only told you to focus on what? Only focus on ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul. Because if you focus on the meaning and both at the same time simultaneously, you will be confused. Okay, so I can see that you guys are quiet, but I don't see any reason why would you be quiet. Okay, I will ask only one question and then inshallah, I hope it's clear. What is the difference between mukhrijun and mukhrajun?
فاعل مفعول.
Please focus on that only. So mukhrijun, if you see kasra here, that means it's the doer, and mukhrajun, that means it is the receiver. I only gave you one added information today, that mukhrajun is also used as adverb of place. That's the only information
Okay,
that I
sir.
gave you today. So وَأَخْرِجْنِي, and exit me or cause me to exit. مُخْرَج, and exit. صِدْقٍ, sound one. Okay, let's move on. وَاجْعَلْ, I hope you can do this one.
Again, sir,
Ijal.
this is up.
Wow is wow, Atifa, okay. What about
Wow,
Fail الدعاء
اجعل
again.
فعل الدعاء? Alhamdulillah. جعل يجعل. اجعل.
لي is مفعول به.
لا, لي is jar majroor.
جار
jar
مجرور.
majroor, sir.
Okay. من لدنك, min, and min ladunka is also jar majroor.
جار مجرور plus
Sir,
مضاف مضاف
maf'ul
إليه.
bihi or not?
Sorry.
Li is
Yes.
also maf'ul bihi or not?
No, it's jar majroor. We can make it as maful bihi, and we can say that li min ladunka is the first maful bihi, and sultan and nasiran is the second maful bihi. Yeah?
مفعول
Because ja'ala, the verb ja'ala also demands two.
requires two مفعول.
Yes, it requires mafulain, we should say. So it also requires two objects. So we can say li and min ladunka is the first one, and sultan and nasiran is the second one. So even if we take out this one first, let's say we take out for the time being min kharij al-Quran, not from the Quran. For example, we take it out. So waj'al, fail plus fa'il, and sultan and nasira maf'ul bihi. Okay, so whenever you are making or whenever you are analyzing the text, whenever you see jar majroor, try to take it out of the context, because jar majroor always changes its place. Sometimes it comes ahead of the maf'ul bihi, sometimes it comes ahead of the doer, sometimes it comes ahead of the mubtada. Yeah, so let's take it out of the context or out of the text, and then try to see now waj'al sultan and nasira. Sultan is mawsuf and nasira is sifat, yeah. So now what is the grammatical, or what is the position of sultan and nasira?
مفعول به سلطانا.
Yes.
نصير is the صفة.
Is a sifa, masuf sifa. So both of them are. So we will say that sultan and
Both of them
nasira
are
is maful bihi, and simply when you put li min ladunka, we will say this is jar majroor, and jar majroor is called mutallaq. I don't want you to get into that. We will simply say that this is jar majroor.
Okay.
So, okay, so now I know it's a little bit difficult, but not difficult, but really it's a little bit like confusing, but I would like you to give it a go at one time and see what happens. Just once, like, okay, so waqul, let's say, again, min ghayr al-Quran, yani out of the Quran, we take it out of the context first, because we haven't done it first. So Rabbi is basically Ya Rabbi. You know this construction, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, adkhil, you have learned it already. Aslim, right?
Yes.
Here, we have already learned it. Fi'l al-amr, aslim. Okay, and then ismul fa'il, muslim, and ismul maf'ul, muslam. Okay, so you see here now. Adkhil, you cause to enter. Who? Ni. Adkhil ni. So ni is what? Maf'ul bihi, right?
مفعول به.
Maf'ul bihi number 1. And mudkhal is maf'ul bihi number 2. Okay. Mudkhala sidqin. What is the construction of mudkhala sidqin? It is
مضاف مضاف.
mudaf mudaf alayh. Please, as of now, just try to notice that whether it is mudaf mudaf alayh, mawsuf sifa, and is it fi'l al-amr, and don't please go into the meaning, because when you try to focus on the meaning, then you will get confused as of now. So inshallah, we will get into the meaning as well. So as of now, the only thing that you need to remember that mudkhalun is ismul maf'ul. Mudkhalun is what?
Ismul maf'ul.
Ismul maf'ul. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're a little bit confused, do what here? We remove this and we change it to kasra, so it becomes mudkhil. So mudkhil means ismul fa'il. You know that, right? And mudkhal is ismul.
مفعول.
Okay, control Z. Okay. So mudkhala is mudaf and sidqin is mudaf ilayh. And so this is ismul maf'ul. At the same time, it is adverb of place. Why it is adverb of place?
Because adkhil requires an adverb of place.
No, it doesn't require adverb of place. I told you that
Enter.
the
Okay.
receiver, yani ismul maf'ul of the derived verb forms, it is also used as adverb of place. You don't have to make a different pattern for the adverb of place.
Okay.
Okay, if we talk about kharaja yakhruju, what is the adverb of place of kharaja yakhruju?
Makhraj.
Makhraj. What is ismul fa'il?
Kharij.
Kharij. What is ismul maf'ul?
Makhruj.
Makhruj. Okay. So what is ismul, the adverb of place? The adverb of place is makhraj. Okay. So we have to make on a different pattern. But when we talk about the derived forms of the verb, then we don't have to bring in a different pattern. Ismul maf'ul is also used as adverb of place. Ismul maf'ul is also used as adverb of place. Okay, we pray in masjid, we say masjid, okay? If there is a small place of praying, what do we call that?
Sajjada.
That small place where we pray, like a
Musalla.
separate musalla. Okay, musalla. Musalla is also on the pattern of muf'alun. It's on the same
muf'al.
pattern of muf'alun, okay? So because that has like the weak letters, so that's why we call it musalla. So musalla is a place where we pray. So musalla is ismul maf'ul, but we use it also as adverb of place as well. So I hope inshallah now you are able to relate. So mudkhal is also used as adverb of place. So when you look at the word adkhilni, enter me, so of course you are expecting or caused to be entered into a place, right? So adkhilni mudkhal, mudkhala sidqin, wa akhrijni, and bring me out. Mukhraja sidqin, mukhraja is mudaf, sidqin is mudaf ilayh, and cause me to exit or grant me to exit from a place. Waj'al li min ladunka sultanan nasira, and grant me from yourself a supporting authority. So, and say, my Lord, cause me to enter a sound entrance and exit a sound exit. And grant me from yourself, min, from ladunka, yourself. This is an expression. Ladun, if you remember, I taught you about this. I sent you one document where we have about special mudaf. So ladun is also one of them, which is used as special mudaf. Min ladunka. In Urdu, we translated aapki bargah se. Aapki bargah se. It's very beautiful. I like it. Min ladunka apni bargah se. Sultan and Nasira, a supporting authority, an authority which will support me. So I hope when you are quiet, I have the feeling that you are completely lost. It's okay.
No, sir, it's clear.
Clear,
Two
sir.
things. Either you are completely lost or you are completely aware of what is happening.
Now we are making him to enter into our mind slowly, sir.
Inshallah, slowly but surely.
We are praying adkhilni, this concept.
Yes. And this is also a very famous dua that we must make all the time as well, which is like recommended by the ulama as well. And it's like, especially when we are in a situation that we find difficult. So inshallah, if we make this dua, and inshallah, you will never forget this dua again. So now inshallah, you will see that's why we have to learn ismul fa'il, why we have to learn ismul maf'ul, why we have to learn the mazid fi forms of the verb. Yes, Irfan is there.
Yes, sir. I said this is very famous ruku, sir.
Okay, very famous part of Hizb of the Quran. Okay. In which context do you say it's very famous?
In Pakistan, in Salatul Fajr, most of the Imam, they recite this ruku, sir.
It's because of the meaning, or is it because easy to memorize? Or is it because all the Huffaz, they prefer to read it or recite it?
Yes, I think preferred, sir. Very less people know the meaning,
But
but most of them they recite this ruku in
now,
Salatul
mashallah, you
Fajr.
know the meaning as well, right?
Especially my ustaz in Tahfiz, he used to recite this ruku.
Okay, excellent. Alhamdulillah. So we haven't finished yet. We have to go to lesson number 22 as well. And as you
Sir, new
remember,
day, new day.
yeah, because tomorrow is off. So I want you to just go through one time. If you remember, I told you that you will do it. So today I want to relax, and I want, mashallah, my colleagues or my students to go through and explain it and see if they are able to do it or not.
Okay, sir.
Halat means conditions, yeah. And the condition hal, the condition doesn't seem to be very sound today. But halat al-mudari al-thalathu, there are three conditions of the mudari, and you know them. Please don't tell me that you don't know them. What are they?
Marfu, mansub,
And
majzoom.
majzoom, yes, marfu, mansub, and majzoom. And we know when it has dhamma, it is marfu. And when it has the sound of una and ina, it is marfu. Dhamma, una, ina, that means it is marfu.
Not why
Sir,
ina.
not
Ina for the verb, not for the noun, for the verb.
Tadhabina. Okay, sir.
Tadhabina.
sir.
See, we are talking about the verb. Halat al-mudari al-thalath. So we're talking about the. So
Okay.
that's why when we are learning Arabic, we have to be like active and our brain has to be
Yes,
like. So una, ina, ina. So una, when we are talking about una, I didn't say una, ina, ina. I should say una, and ina only. So we know that. So when we have dhamma, that means it is marfu. When we have fatha, that means it is mansub. And when we have sakin, or when it is sakin, then we say this is majzoom. Okay, so how do we make mansub and majzoom for the five forms of the verb that have dhamma? Yadhabu, tadhabu, tadhabu, adhabu, nadhabu. If I want to make mansub, how will I make it mansub?
Just change the dhamma to fatha or sakin.
Now, first mansub. So when we make mansub, we will change dhamma into fatha, right? And for a reason. If we have an before it, or if we have harf al-an before it, or if we have lam al-dalil before it. Okay. If the verb has una, then what will we do?
So noon is dropped.
Noon is dropped. And when we have the verb ina, then what happens?
Also, noon is
Noon
dropped.
is dropped. That's what the whole unit is all about. So I don't want you to go through all of this. If you remember that, that is enough, because we have discussed that several times. And if you want to, you can go through by yourselves and you can see that here it is dhamma, here it is fatha, and here it is majzoom. Dhamma has been dropped, and here we have una. Una. So, at-tulabu yadhabuna. And if you remember, I told you yesterday that when we have, what is common between mansub and majzoom, what is common? That both of them will drop the noon. Whether we have harf al-an or we have lam, what they will do? They will drop the noon. So this is what is common between them. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is what is common. What is uncommon? If you can tell me what is uncommon, inshallah, I'll let you go and I'll go as well. What is
The
uncommon?
mabni. The uncommon between these two
These two, yes.
is the dhamma changes into fatha in the first 5 cases, and in majzoom dhamma changes into sukun.
Excellent. Yeah. So the first verbs of the verbs that we have learned, forms of the verb, which is yadhabu, tadhabu, tadhabu, adhabu, and adhabu. When we have harf nasiba before it, like harf lan or an or li, then dhamma changes into fatha. And when we have lam or lamma or la and nahiya before it, then it becomes majzoom. And what is common between them? both of them, they cause noon, or they cause the noon to be dropped. So whether it is like mansub or maizum, the verbs that have una, the noon will be dropped, and the verb that has ina, then the noon will be dropped as well. That's it. So our unit is done. There's nothing that we need to go through this unit. That's it.
Okay, the female feminine is also remains the same style in both.
That's right. Yes, that's right. For the feminine, singular is the same. And we know that, as you can see here, both of them, they are the same. Tadhabi, tadhabina. So when we have, whether we have lan or we have lam, it is tadhabi. And we know that for the feminine plural, it is mabni, it doesn't change. So lan tadhabna and lan yadhabna and lan tadhabna, that doesn't change. So inshallah, we have a long weekend. Tomorrow is off. So we will meet inshallah on Sunday. So you have enough time to go back. Inshallah, I will upload all the recordings. If you can get some time, please don't give it up. Don't leave it. If you do that, then what's gonna happen is you will forget everything. And that's what I don't want you to do, because we are struggling, we are trying our best, inshallah. So please just don't give up and try to do as much as you can. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم